is going down through the entire town, wreaking anarchy and all it brings. I can't sit idly, no, I can't move at all. I curse the name, the one behind it all. Discord, I'm howling at the moon and sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon. Discord, whatever did we do to make you take our world away? Discord, are we a prey alone, or are we just a stepping stone for taking back the throne? Discord, we won't take it anymore, so take your tyranny away.
Welcome to the Geek BAH Reviews My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Vlogs. This time we're going over episodes 23, 24, and 25. And after this, I will also be recording for the season end special. So it's all going to be uploaded at once, the last episode, this one, and the next. Let's begin right away, though, with episode 23, the Cutie Mark Chronicles. Another Cutie Mark Crusaders episode, and I think I've said it already that I really do not care for them. I mean, yes, they're cute. Yes, I mean, I understand what they're trying to do. But they're just honestly a little annoying. And it's just, there's so far a show can go in being cutesy. And this tries to take it to a whole nother level. And that's something for this show. But anyways, Apple Bloom, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle, the Cutie Mark Crusaders, believe they know now how to get their cutie marks. And so they decide to ask the older ponies, especially the main six, how they got them. And they especially want to seek out Rainbow Dash. Because, I mean, that's Scootaloo's idea, and Scootaloo pretty much idolizes Rainbow Dash. Now, they also are obviously going to look out for Fluttershy, Rarity, Applejack, Pinkie Pie, and Twilight Sparkle. And at this point, they do. They go throughout and they find the main six, and they're learning their stories of how they earn their cutie marks. Now, keep in mind, I'm trying to remember everything off the top of my head. With my vlogs, I do not take notes or anything. I do not plan. So, if I get something wrong, if you're a brony or a fan of the show, don't hate on me for it. It's just off the top of my head. And, well, I'm not even going to really go through everything here. But with the stories of how they got their cutie marks, Pinkie Pie, her family seemed to be like an Amish farm working family. And she decided, she saw a Rainbow Dash's Sonic Rain Boom in the sky. And decided, and just right then, decided to throw a party. And, I mean, it's the first ever party, according to how they say it. And she basically creates it. And her family loves it, and it's just a fun time. And that's how Pinkie gets her cutie mark for parties. And Twilight Sparkle is at this institute she's trying to get in. She's trying to hatch a dragon egg using her magic. It doesn't work. Then the rain boom, she hears the boom of the rain boom. And it's like her magic is all unleashed at once. She hatches the dragon egg, which ends up being Spike, which is interesting, actually. But then everything goes out of control, and she sort of goes into this X-Men Storm thing where she's just losing control over her powers. And if you've seen X-Men, you'd understand that reference. But, yeah, and then Applejack was away in the big city. She's with her aunt and uncle Orange, which is actually pretty creative, and I gotta give them that one. But they're basically socialites, and Applejack really doesn't fit in. She sees the Sonic Rain Boom, and it seems to be leading her back to her home. And when she gets there, she realizes that farming on the apple farm is what she's meant for, and that's when she gets her cutie mark. And I'm not going to go over the others, but you get the idea. Anyways, they all realize that Rainbow Dash, the first time she used the Sonic Rain Boom, which was pretty much on accident, triggered all these events. And each of them got their cutie marks pretty much at the same time. And they realize that because of this, they're all really close. Closer than they originally thought. And that it brings them a lot closer than they ever were before. Let's put it that way. Now, at this point, there is a song in here called the Fluttershy Fantasy Song, obviously sung by Fluttershy, when she first meets all the animals. Because, like Rainbow Dash, she originally lived in Cloudsdale and didn't know about all the animals on the ground. That's actually how she got her cutie mark. She fell down to the ground and saw the animals and sang the song. But yeah, it's supposed to be a cutie mark episode from the start, but it ends up being a main 6 episode because it reveals their history and reveals their past, and it's really actually pretty interesting. And it's the first episode that is based around the Cutie Mark Crusaders that I really like. So moving on though, Owlswell the Endswell. Really bad pun. Really bad. Anyways, Twilight realizes that because Spike is a baby dragon, he is literally unable to stay awake at night to help her with her astronomy studies. And, I mean, he's literally unable. He tries, but he just drops to sleep. It's kind of funny that way, but, I mean, it's not hilarious, but it's a little funny. So Twilight finds that she needs a second assistant. A lesser assistant, though. She still says that Spike is her main one. And she gets a new pet owl named Owlicious, which is the most ridiculous name for an owl ever. But Spike doesn't like Owlicious and thinks the bird is stealing his job. And, oh my goodness. He's just insanely jealous. He thinks that Twilight wants to replace him with the owl as her assistant, and it just goes wild. So Spike is pretty much trying to get on Twilight's good side and show her how awesome he is and stuff, so that she'll keep him instead. And there's a lot of hijinks that ensue, obviously. But later on, Twilight finds a book that she had been looking for, that Spike had accidentally damaged with his fire breath. She scolds him for hiding it from her, obviously, which, I mean, is expected. And of course, he thinks this is sort of a sign of her not liking him anymore, because he's just really insanely jealous right now. And later, he even goes into this, like, Dick Dastardly, like, old-style villain, like, vaudeville villain with the mustache and the hat and all black. And he tries to frame Owlicious for killing a mouse. And it's just so corny, the way it's done. But Twilight basically finds out, and she's really disappointed in him. So he thinks that Twilight no longer wants him at all, and he runs away. And at this point, he finds a cave full of gems. And we've already seen in the series that dragons like to eat gems. It's sort of their main diet. And so he thinks he's in heaven. But he then realizes that the cave belongs to an adult dragon. And yeah, it doesn't end well. However, Twilight and Owlicious suddenly arrive to save him. And it all works out, and they escape. At this point, Twilight does realize how Spike is thinking about everything, and she admits to him that she only brought in Owlicious for additional help at night, because Spike can't stay awake. And she tells him that she's not replacing him, that no one could ever replace him. And the two reconcile, and Spike even sort of makes friends with Owlicious. Now, this episode is okay. It's not great, but it actually has a good message to it, like a lot of these episodes seem to. And it's all about jealousy and learning that, I mean, even just to put it, let's say your friend has a new friend and you're sort of jealous that they're hanging out with the new friend and not you as much. There's nothing wrong with that. Hang out with them too. And that's basically what this episode's trying to say. It's saying that no matter what, your friends will still be your friends. And that you don't need to do all this to try and get their attention just because you see them hanging out with someone else. Okay, last episode, and we have some time to do it. Party of One, episode 25. This episode is, in my opinion, one of the best of the series so far. First you see Pinkie Pie doing this singing telegram pretty much right off the bat. And it is the best thing ever. Pinkie Pie's singing telegram song is amazing. And she's throwing a birthday party for her pet alligator, Gummy, who I swear is taunting me. But anyways, they go to the party and it's a good party. Everybody has fun. But afterwards, Pinkie sort of gets this idea from Twilight that to throw another party, an after-party, to continue the celebrations. I mean, it's Pinkie. She loves parties. So she decides to hold it the next day. However, all her friends seem to be busy and really seem to be avoiding her. So she's suspicious of their behavior, because Pinkie's actually not dumb at all. She's actually a lot smarter than people give her credit for. So she starts following them around, and she discovers that they're very, very actively avoiding her and hiding something from her. They're lying to her, and they're just hiding in Applejack's barn, trying to get away from her. So at this point, Pinkie becomes depressed. She thinks that they are no longer her friends, and she even does this little intimidation, good cop, bad cop thing with Spike, where she kind of forces him to tell her that they're not her friends anymore, and it just completely depresses her. So next thing we know, she's throwing her own party, but she has inanimate objects, like rocks and all, as her friends, and she's kind of going completely insane, and it's just awesome. Just the way she goes crazy is just epic, because it freaks you out when watching it. It's just freaking weird, and in a good way. It's just showing so much craziness. I mean, and it's something you would never see from a regular children's show, that she's going that crazy. And it's wild, because this is a very adult message here. Basically, she's taking things too seriously, and she's letting this little thing completely control her mind. So eventually, Rainbow Dash retrieves her and forces her to the barn, where they're throwing a party. Pinkie thinks the party is basically a going away party for her, because they're trying to get rid of her. However, she soon realizes, as they tell them, that it's actually Pinkie's birthday party. It was a surprise party. That's why they were being all secretive. And Pinkie had completely forgotten it because of Gummy. And so Pinkie instantly goes back to normal, or as normal as she gets, and celebrates with them. And this is a very just dark episode, I guess you would say. Just the scene where she's completely insane with the inanimate objects and having her party there. That is if you really think about it, that is a dark scene. Because it shows actually a very creepy look at mental insanity and how it sort of escalates. And it's really good. This is seriously an amazingly done episode, and I have to really give it to the creators of My Little Pony for this one. But anyways, that's about it. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. It's that good of an episode. So this was the penultimate one of the season, and we will continue next time with episode 26, which will be a special. I'll be going over everything I thought about the show so far, and, well, yada yada yada, you get the idea. So I'll see you all next time.